Yeah, guys, before we get to basketball, I want to remind everybody that with the Browns being back this Sunday, so is the Browns postgame show. We start at the 2-minute warning every week. We're going to break down the entire game, live reactions from G, Earl, and Mike. Be sure to tune in, 2-minute warning.
Awesome, guys. Let's talk a little Cleveland Cavaliers basketball because if the reports are true, Darius Garland is set to make his return to the lineup today. He went through a full practice yesterday. Still technically listed as questionable game time decision, but all reports do indicate there is a very high likelihood of Darius Garland playing against the Philadelphia 76ers. Ironically, Joel Embiid will not be in the lineup. He played in last night's back-to-back, so no Embiid. This is what Shams tweeted yesterday about Darius's potential return. He is upgraded on the injury report, set to return. It could happen as soon as tonight, which was the tweet account that came out yesterday. So, Jason, if Darius Garland returns for the Cavs, how much of an impact will that immediately have on the offense?
I mean, he'll be on a minutes restriction. It'll be a lift for sure. Like it'll be a big. You and I were talking about it at the game the other night. Just their inability to really get to the basket right now. Donovan's on one leg, and they, last year, part of Kenny's system, they were so good at the drive, kick, swing, and it's hard to kick and swing if you don't have a drive. Mm-hmm. And right now they're lacking drivers. So just the emotional lift. We talked about it with the trade stuff with the Jets and. The emotional lift or deflation from either getting a guy back or losing a guy, just getting him back on the floor, I think will be a lift to this team. And then obviously whatever he does on top of it is gravy. It's November, man. I don't care about what his numbers look like tonight or what kind of shape he's in. He'll have plenty of time to play back into something. But just being able to sort of settle back into, obviously you're still without Strus for quite a while yet, but getting one key piece back, you've gotten a look now without Darius at some different combinations. Now you can put him back out there and sort of get into the offensive flow that you are expecting to be able to have this year.
What do you think, G?
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like, man. It's kind of funny that we say this because we talked about the whole Evan Mobley type thing. And, I wanted to see what Evan Mobley's aggression level was when Darius Garland was out. There were some things that we saw where we kind of didn't like where he was taking the shots. Well, now Darius Garland is back. And, Jason has always said that, Mobley has to be the best player on this team for them to get to where they want to go. But, a big part of who they are and a big part of some of the easier baskets that they get is because Darius Garland is creating off the dribble. He's lobbing the ball. He's getting to the basket. He's collapsing the defense. And so what you'll start to see, I think, is a lot more easier shots for other guys. You don't have to see guys that are dribbling as much, creating as much on their own, taking contested shots. So it's a welcome sight. I thought the Cavs didn't look. They didn't have the same feel offensively. They didn't have some of the same ball movement.
Clumsy.
Yeah, it's real clunky. It's you could watch the Atlanta game and it was just like they were struggling to figure out where they were with possessions at the end of the game and who was supposed to have the ball. Last year, you go back and look at it. At the end of the game, you kind of knew what it was. Like, guys were in the right spots. They knew where they would get their spots, their shots at. So I think Darius coming back will be a shot in the arm. And who knows? At one point in time, Darius Garland is kind of, to me, the poor man's Kyrie Irving story. At one point in time, Darius Garland was the face.
Supposed to be the face.
He's the face of the organization. He was the guy who was the dude, right? And then you kind of bring in Donovan, who's the alpha dog, and Evan Mobley's ascension to being what he is. It's kind of like he's a forgotten dude, but he can play ball. Offensively, he's one of the most gifted guys with the basketball. He got it on the string. He shoots a high percentage from the three-point, shoots well from the floor. The only thing that was messing with him is the injury. So I want to see how it looks, how it works, and where it goes with Lonzo Ball, too, in terms of some of the lineups.
They haven't had a real point guard this year, other than when Lonzo plays, but they've started, at least to start the year, Don and Sam Merrill as their backcourt. Like, those are two off-ball guards, primarily more than traditional point guards. So getting Darius back, their best passer, certainly helps. When you look at the numbers over the last couple of years, like, Darius isn't their best offensive player. He's not their best scorer. But his impact on the overall offensive metrics are better than anyone else. This is from the 2022-23 season, 23-24, and then last year, 24-25. So the last 3 full regular seasons. On the top, those are the numbers when Darius is on the court. On the bottom, those are the numbers when Darius is off the court. When Darius is on over a 3-season sample size, so not small, big sample size. They have an offensive rating of 120. When he's off, it's 114.8. That's a drastic difference. That's like top 2 or 3 in the league versus middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Rest of the numbers slightly up, better true shooting percentage. That helps when you have a really good shooter. And the rebounding numbers are even better. And when you look at last year in particular, where they set that historic offensive rating number, look at the difference when Darius was on and off the court in that, Jason. 123.2 when he's on, 114 when he's off. 123.2 would have been number 1 in the NBA, better than the Cavs' record-setting offensive rating. 114.8 would have ranked 14th. The field goal percentage, more efficient. They're a better three-point shooting team. That assist percentage, the number of field goals that are assisted upon, 65.2% to just shy of 60%, and the net rating of 9.9. What Darius does is unlock everyone else. To your point, Jason, they're almost last in the league in drives per game.
Yep.
They're almost last in the league right now in points in the paint per game. They're almost last in the league in field goal attempts at the rim per game. And why? Because they don't have guys right now that are driving to the rim and forcing the defense to collapse, especially with Don on one leg.
Yeah.
And he can say the hamstring's not a big deal. Don's played like Sam Merrill the last couple of games, and he's been incredible shooting, and I say that as a compliment to both Donovan that he could be efficient in that role, and to Sam Merrill that I can now compare Donovan to Sam Merrill and not make it sound like an insult. But he's not getting to the paint like he was, and I think he'll get back to doing that as he gets healthier. But having Darius back to drive, kick, and force the defense to collapse is going to make everyone else kind of fall into their natural place.
Cavs were, I think, second behind only Boston in shots at the rim, or shots within 5 feet after the game Sunday night. I don't know what the updated numbers are now, and they were middle of the pack last year. So that tells you, just that alone, they're not getting looks at the rim, and that's what one of Kenny's point of emphasis.
You mean they're in three-point attempts, not shots at the rim?
No, I mean shots within 5 feet. Shots within 5 feet of the basket, they were second from the bottom.
Oh, okay. You said second. I thought you meant second most.
Sorry.
Second
No,
from
no,
the
no.
bottom. Okay.
Second from
Yes,
the bottom.
yes.
Boston, which I was surprised Boston had the least amount of shots.
Well, they
at
shoot
the
the
rim.
most threes.
Yeah, they do. I still felt, and last year they were around there too. So, but the Cavs were middle of the pack last year in shots within 5 feet, and as of the other night, they were second behind only Boston. So that really, I think, paints the picture of what Kenny's talking about. We got to get to the rim more. We can't be shooting 57 threes a night.
No, you shoot 57 threes. You're going to have the random night where you happen to make 25 of them, and it's going to be tough to beat. But just the Cavs aren't shooting that high of a percentage to be chucking up and jacking as many shots from beyond the arc. And Darius is also like a stabilizer, right?
Yeah.
Like his shiftiness, his ability to work the pick and roll, which is going to help a Jared Allen and an Evan Mobley. The one thing I think I overlooked with the Lonzo acquisition, Lonzo doesn't run pick and rolls. Seriously, he's like in the bottom of all point guards in terms of pick and rolls per 100 possessions. That's not his game. Where does Jared Allen get most of his offensive opportunities?
Pick and rolls.
Where is Evan Mobley? I know not this year, but traditionally speaking, where has Evan Mobley been really efficient?
Pick and roll.
In pick and rolls. Darius is their best pick and roll offensive player. Him and Donovan attack him in different unique ways. Donovan's incredible at it as well, but Darius in the more traditional read the defense. If they come at you, he's going to hit the pocket pass to Evan on the slip, to Jared on the slip. I just think him being back and as a stabilizing force for everyone else allows the role guys to kind of fall into their more natural position. And sometimes players don't get worse. They're just asked to do things they're not capable of doing. And with Darius, they're going back to doing what they're actually capable of executing on a night-to-night basis.
You know what I thought about? I thought about this when I was watching some games the other night, and I saw Murray for what's his name for the Nuggets.
Jamal.
Oh,
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, okay.
And Jamal Murray wasn't like that Nuggets team. I kind of sort of look like the Cavs, but they don't got nobody as good as Jokic.
No.
But they when they won the title, they had Porter. They had Jokic. What's the other the small guard that they just went back?
Bruce Brown. Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, they had these role dudes, and these role dudes played out of their mind.
Murray was phenomenal.
Murray, like, he was just, like, I'm like, playoff Murray is playing like he's a superstar.
Yep.
And I thought about it. I said, if I can't get what I want, if I can't get what I need from Mobley, because he's like Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. He like Gohan.
I get that one, by the way.
Because Gohan should be the most powerful, bro. You got to wait till everybody die for him to get mad and go beast mode. And you're like, come on, bro. We ain't waiting for you. Frieza's killing everybody. Cell's killing everybody. We need you to step up. But when you got somebody like, when you got Garland can mess around and just like give you 50. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if he can give me like that spark.
He scored 50 before.
Like
if
if I can get him to be like, is there another level for Garland? Is there an untapped level? Because at this point, we kind of know what he is. Do you think he is all he is ever going to be, or does he have that one little level where we can get a Kyrie Irving performance? Like the 16 Kyrie Irving was at that point, if you looked at the score, he was one of the best dudes on the court. Okay. And that was Steph, that was Clay, that was LeBron.
Kyrie was an assassin.
He was an assassin. He went crazy. Yeah. Can we get something like that from a Darius Garland to say we don't got to have Mobley consistently do it on that high of a level to win a championship?
I think Darius is what he is. I don't think that there's the Kyrie in him. But what Darius is an excellent offensive player. Mm-hmm. And this is becoming a league that is moving away from smaller guards. Mm-hmm. So he has got to be unbelievably effective on the offensive end because, Kevin Durant called him out by name over the summer.
Yeah, that was wild. He said,
as the league moving away from guys.
He was like, look, Darius Garland, he's nice. He's one of the greatest to do it. But, we about to find him.
To unlock that next level, a lot of it has to come on the defensive end. Steve, we pull up Darius' season stats last year for me real quick. From an offensive standpoint, as a guy who doesn't have the ball nearly as much as the other elite creators in the NBA, because he splits it with Donovan and they run such a open style of offense to where you get different guys creating. Steve, the Darius Garland stats, please, when you get a sec. I know I can't produce them out here like I'm sitting back there. I don't know what number Darius Garland's season stats is, but I know it's in there because we took it 3 times already. He scored 21 points. Was almost in the 50-40-90 club, led the team in assists. From an offensive standpoint, I'm not sure how much more you're going to get from Darius with his usage being around what it is. I realistically, maybe 42% from 3 and 50, but that's 21, 22 points. I think his biggest area of improvement would come on the defensive end to where he's not getting singled out and picked on in a playoff scenario. And that way, when you look at Darius does all this well, but sometimes when he's getting picked on defensively, you got to notch it down 2-3 notches because he may score 20, he gave up 18. That's a +2.
Yeah.
Then his value feels significantly more because it's not, we need Darius for offense, but we got to figure out how to hide him defensively.
The reason I'm asking that is because I found myself, as I see what Mobley has done the first few games, and I'm looking at his skill set, you have to trust. I trust Garland's offensive game over Mobley's game by tenfold almost. I know what Darius Garland can do offensively. Evan Mobley, I know where he's working and he's made some strides. But if I need to consistently say I need this 22, I think I could get to 22 from Darius Garland, and I would have to increase his usage.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can count on that level of production to say, okay, well, we're going to move. I would have to think, Darius Garland, you have to be more aggressive because there's going to be games where Evan Mobley, if he doesn't start off on the right foot, it's going to be one of them work in progresses where they got to start to sense. Him and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt going to have to sense what it is exactly what they're giving us at this moment and then ratchet it up their aggressive level based on what they see Mobley's giving them.
As you're talking about that, I just thought of another way Darius could be. It may not translate to stats, but another way Darius can become an even more efficient, impactful offensive player. The Cavs used him more last year than they have in the past in off-ball opportunities, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Using Donovan as the primary playmaker. Mm-hmm. Kenny wanted Darius to shoot more threes. I think he shot 9 threes a game last year. Kenny kept saying we need to get double digits. We'll settle at 9. If Darius can become a gravitational pull when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, not in, hey, he's spaced up in the corner, but we're going to run him off pin downs. We're going to run him off floppy sets to make sure he gets the ball on one side of the court. And while that's happening and Darius is going this way, Don, you're going to get an isolation on this side of the court. But the defense is going to have to respect Darius because of the way he's shooting threes, because of the efficiency he has from beyond the arc. I know it's tough for a smaller guard to kind of do that and then still withstand and sustain his ability to create off the dribble and then battle defensively when he's constantly getting put in the post against bigger guys. But I do think if he can improve on that specific aspect, and I know you've talked about it at length, the Cavs believe he can play off ball.
Yeah.
Like Kobe Altman said it out to you and to everybody, like, we got Donovan because we thought Darius and Donovan can complement each other and they can play off each other. We saw it more last year than we had in the first year with Donovan, and I hope they can kind of add to that level of creativity and using him off ball this year.
Well, I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see it. What it's taught me is if they're gonna win a championship, they're gonna need
everybody,
all them pieces.
Everybody.
They're gonna need. They're not a team where I can look at them. And the thing that I get when you watch Oklahoma City, by the way,
they look so good. They look so good.
Them doggone Spurs, bro. I mean, the Spurs look like
Wemby. Hey,
the Spurs look like they're ahead of the curve right now.
You talk about people taking the jump. There are tangible jumps, and then there are not linear jumps. Wemby, who was already 7'17", was dropped out of a spaceship, landed on a trampoline, and has bounced 13 steps up to where I think, Jason, I think he's the fourth best player in basketball right now. I thought he was top 10 entering the season. I think he's jumped everyone who's not top 4.
I thought he was crazy, but when you can walk around and wake up and get 7 blocks.
Yeah.
When you get 7, I mean, he's doing ridiculous, like,
he has more blocks than like 18 teams in the league.
Nasty little Euro step dunks where he don't have to stand. Like, he's dribbling court. See, this is the problem. Sometimes you're born in the wrong generation. I think Evan Mobley, he was born right with your doppelganger. Like, you are like you're Bizarro Superman. I mean, you're a lesser version of what.
Hold on. You're right. I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, Bizarro is strong. He's Black Adam.
They were looked at as very different level. Like, Wemby was a can't miss, surefire, bona fide,
generational player.
Generational. Yeah. We're gonna have 7 teams in the league tank to try and get the opportunity to draft Wemby. Mobley was a 3rd pick in his own draft.
Yeah.
Now he should have been the 2nd. He should have gone over Jalen Green. But like, generational, once in a lifetime. Not even the number 1 pick. Like, they did come in with different levels of height.
I mean, hey, listen, you get born in the wrong. Listen, hey, Clyde Drexler was pretty dope.
Yeah,
he just happened to grow up with Michael Jordan.
Speaking of draft picks, though, Jalen Tyson's been awesome for the Cavs this year.
I like him.
Been awesome. I got a chance to sit down with Jalen yesterday. The full interview is on our YouTube page, but here's a little snippet if you guys want to check out the full interview I did with Jalen Tyson. It's about 10 minutes, but this is a little snippet, and I highly recommend. Steve, let's hear from Jalen Tyson. 3-and-D has 2 parts, the 3, and then playing defense. You kind of have embodied this new Cavs defensive philosophy, picking up full court. You told my guy Ethan that you didn't really like playing defense, but you're starting to enjoy it more now. What about playing defense are you kind of finding enjoyment in?
Being able to piss off the best players. If I can do that, that gives us an edge, right? If I could frustrate them, I mean, yeah, I'm going to have a couple fouls this year. That's just what they expect of me, right? They want me to be that kind of like pest defender, the dude that nobody wants to play against, right? So that's the joy that I get, like giving me the assignment of who have we played so far? Let's see, Toronto. You got Quickly and RJ Barrett, right? Who else did we play? New York, even Jalen Brunson, like stuff like that. That gets me excited, right? Because me personally, I feel like I could change the game without even scoring points on the defensive end.
So yeah, the full interview with Jalen Tyson is on our YouTube page. We talked about making a sophomore jump, improving his jump shot mechanics. His nickname, Hacky Chan, by the way, which he is fully embracing.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
He gave me a great answer on the Hacky Chan origins and how it's sticking around. He's 4th in the league in personal fouls, and he's all in on that. And also gaining Donovan Mitchell's trust and what that means to him. So the full interview is on our YouTube page. You can check that out whenever you want. Wild.